exciting. I'm so pumped.
We're going to do this one a little bit different. So some of the other breakout sessions, if you were able to join us last night, it was just one person when she was speaking to you, and those are killer, but I just like a conversation.
Yep.
It's more my style. So I asked her to be a part of it with me. So she's going to ask us some questions and be like a Q&A. We want you to ask us questions too. We got Meg who's going to help us figure out or answer or tell us what questions you're asking.
Yes.
And
we're going to have a good time. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll get like super cozy.
How long do we have?
We have up to an hour.
Oh, come on.
But we're going to open up for question and answers afterwards, because this is the coolest part about this conference. One of the things I love about it is because every conference that we've ever been to, there's not a lot of time for question and answer afterwards.
Right.
And here you get a direct line. Look at all the people here. I love it. So here you get a direct line to talk to Kayla and ask her some questions. And I'm telling you right now, not just because she's my best friend, you're going to want to ask questions. You want to pick her brain because she is a genius. She's a genius. And I'm not just saying that just to blow smoke. I'm telling you she's a genius. So let me just say, this is Kayla, guys. This is the Kayla Hall. If you follow me on social media at all, you see her face a lot on my stuff because she's my best friend. She is a wife to JW. And how long have you guys been married?
We've been married 8 years.
8 years. She is a wonderful mother of a sweet little boy, Lyndon, who is the cutest little boy.
He's cute.
Yeah, he's cute. His lips, I just want to like snack on him.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh man, he's the cutest.
Yeah.
She is a professional marketing woman who is crazy. She is branding extraordinaire. One of the best photographers. I love her photography. Photographer, you are an ultra creative, but you're also type A, which is really interesting to me. She like falls into her own rare category. She's an incredible creative. Yeah. She does graphic design. You're just all the things. You sing. You just do all the things. She does all the things.
I should have taken. Look at
your
my nephew.
Yes.
I'm seeing my sweet Saw back there. Sorry, y'all can see my sister who's joining in.
I love it.
Hi, buddy.
Charity. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Hey, Charity.
I love it. Okay, so
awesome.
We're just gonna have a conversation, and we're just gonna kind of see where it goes. We have some notes. We're not unprepared. We've got tons of notes, y'all. But what we're gonna do is just have a conversation. I'm gonna ask you some questions, but it's gonna be really fun. Do you want to kind of talk about did you already talk about what we're gonna?
No, not yet.
You want to do that?
To be honest, when they first brought it up the collective or my collective to me, I was like, sweet, I'm down, but I'm not speaking. Like,
she was like, I'll be behind the scenes.
I got your website, I got your social, I got your emails, but I am not speaking.
And then I said, oh, by the way, you're gonna do a session.
And so I still rebelled, and that's why I'm the very last speaker on the page, because I was added like last minute, because I just have comfort in being behind the scenes. Yeah.
But you definitely need, the wisdom that you have in these areas needs to be forefront. And so it was definitely I noticed after all the things, because she does it, our logo, our website, our everything. This is like all social media, all of our look, everything. I noticed on the very last of the speakers, there's her picture, and I know she did that on purpose. But I was like, Kayla,
I was like, if I remove it won't mess up the format. That's what I was thinking.
I know.
If I remove myself.
She almost backed out. Can I just tell you that she almost backed out? She almost called me a couple weeks before.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I almost backed out, but that wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have let her do that because it's our conference. We do what we want.
Yeah, seriously.
And she said on the ticket because she needs to be done.
Yeah, and so originally the thought was to have me talk about branding and marketing. And what's funny is that if you would have asked me like 10 years ago, where will you be? I would have never thought like marketing for a well-known home decor company. I would have never thought that. I don't even know what I would have thought. Like in high school, I was going to be a country music star.
Yeah.
Like
let's talk about that.
I just was going to do it. And I was going to do that. And then I went to college and I was like, well, maybe I should be more realistic. And so in true fashion,
she can sing. Don't let her fool you.
I majored in missions. And then I had a professor.
That's the same.
I had a professor tell me, get a real degree, and not that those aren't real, so I'm not hating on anybody by any means. But he's like, allow God to use you in the business world because you'll need that in ministry. And I'm like, okay, sure, you got it. So marketing it was. And it fit me like a glove. Like, I love everything about it.
Yeah, it brought out some crazy stuff in you.
And so we were going to talk about some marketing things, but this last year of my life, I'm going to be pretty vulnerable during the session, it's been interesting to say the least. Yep. And so it's not been all bad. It's not been all good. It's just been different. Like, it's a stretching year, and stretching hurts. That's why they leave a mark when you're, like stretch marks or whatever from being pregnant or whatever. But we'll kind of dig into that. So we'll have some practical use for business, but some also practical or advice for being who God says you are. What is your brand? What is God saying that you are? Who is that person?
Yes. So I'm going to have some questions.
Let's
so
do it.
We talked about this on the deck. So we're going to dive into a couple of questions that I'm going to ask Kayla. We're just going to get your response and kind of go from there. So the first one, so this is about marketing, branding, and she said it's practical and spiritual. So we'll kind of hit the practical, and then I want you to kind of dive into some more because you've got some incredible stuff to talk about this. Question number one is, why do you love marketing? What drew you to marketing?
I love having making something that it can be confusing and making it crystal clear. So clarity is my love language other than sleep. And I just love just being able to see something, and I can just see like how it can play out. Like, God has given me that gift to show me a vase, and I can tell you like, this is what it needs for the website. This is what it needs. What does it do? How can we market to people? This vase will hold your flowers, but what problem does it solve? The best marketing solves a problem. If you, this is for people who have small businesses, or that's a dream of yours. You can sell to people forever if you solve a problem.
That's good.
If you're not a necessity, they don't need you.
That's good.
But if you can solve a problem, they'll want you and they'll pay for you.
Dang, that's really good.
So that's that.
I love that. Yeah. So you take complex things that may seem really chaotic, and you find the clarity in it. So basically, you're subtracting all the excess that doesn't need to be there to make it crystal clear.
Yes. If you can't describe what you're doing in business in 3 steps, then you don't need to be doing it.
That's
1, 2, 3.
Right.
That's why on our website, it's like it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Click on the link, enter, sit back and enjoy. Or register, click on the link, and sit back and watch.
Yeah. That's so good.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. That's good. All you business ladies, you better write that down. Better write it down. All right. Here's my next question. Because some people on here, honestly, maybe like, what is a brand? So my question to you is, how would you describe to somebody what is a brand?
Brand is identity. 100%. Brand is identity.
That's good.
So anytime you see an apple that has a bite taken out of it, you automatically think Macintosh. You automatically think Apple. And from that one logo, you think excellence.
That's good.
You think technology leader. You think hottest trending. I mean, hello, I'm on a Mac. We both have iPhones. There's like, this house is powered by Macintosh at the moment.
If they want to sponsor us, by the way, that would be superb. Superb.
Yep. But it's your identity. Branding is identity, period.
Now, how does that relate to who you are as a person? Take away the business aspect. What is a brand if you walk into the room to have coffee with me? What is a brand to you, to me, to you? And I mean, like, what is that? You were saying some really great stuff about who you are as a brand.
So branding is what your voice is, what you leave behind, like what the mark that you've made on people. When people think about you, and I'm fully aware that there may not be people, I'm not sure who all's in my session, but there may be people joining in and watching that they don't believe in Jesus. And you know what? We want to say welcome to them as well. But if I profess to be a Christ follower, there should never be a question about that. That should be number one. Like, when people think of me, they think of, wow, she's opinionated and she loves Jesus. You know, there should never be a question in that.
That's good.
Who you are is who God says you are. And there's a whole list of things. I'll send this out in one of the blogs that we're going to do later. But there's a list of things that God says you are, and that should be who your brand is as a Christian.
That's
woman.
good. Yeah. And this, like, simple. That's who you are at your very core.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. Now, this is a great question. What is the importance of a brand for business and personal?
we live in a world that is comparison. So we live in an Instagram-fueled world. We look at people's highlight reels, and all we see is their good stuff. Now, I did post a picture of Lyndon, my son, screaming and crying one day because it was really cute. But, I mean, very seldom do you see people's bad moments when they're angry. What is really coming out of their mouth isn't in 50 characters, 90 characters put on a tweet or whatever, 120 characters. I don't know. I'm not on Twitter. Sorry, Twitter. But
that's good.
I mean, comparison is a thief of joy.
It's exactly right.
And also comparison makes you incredibly ungrateful. Incredibly ungrateful. And that is something that I struggled with this last year. And we'll dig into this here in a second, but I was comparing my life in Longview. Now, I love Longview now, but it took me a year to get there. I was comparing my life in Longview, my career in Longview, my happiness in Longview to what I had in Kansas City. But the thing is that God didn't ask me to still be in Kansas City. He told us to move to Longview. And who am I to tell him that he's wrong? Who am I to compare who God has called me to be today to who I was 3 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago? Or how dare I compare myself to you? Or to my sister is my rock star. My sister is my hero. And my whole life, like, we are so close in age, I've always compared myself to her. She's beautiful. And she is like killer mom, killer wife. So just like athletic, and from a very young age, I believed. And how dare Satan speak to children and feed us lies as a child? I'm kind of going off on a tangent a little bit, but I believed a lie at a very young age that if I wasn't someone else, if I wasn't who this person was, then I wasn't good enough. And I got trapped in that lie, and it was a lie that I was pushing away for so many years, and I believed it. I didn't get only trapped in it. I ate it, and I fed it. I fed that lie. I fed it constantly with comparison, with the social media world we live in. I fed that lie. And so I, on the outside, I was like, I am who he says I am. But on the inside, the second I walked into a room, the second I walked into a room, I immediately was like, okay, I have on a better shirt than her. I'm not kidding. I'm being real here. I have on a better shirt than her. And maybe I'm smarter than her. Like, who am I?
No, that's real. That's real. And a lot of people won't admit to that. But that's real. This is real. This is real talk. We can get real here. This is real. That's real.
Yeah. And so I'm not even sure what your original question was,
good.
Michelle.
But we were talking about the importance of branding. But it's good because it all goes back to that.
And if you know what your brand is and who God says you are, I'm talking to these pillows over here, but I'm talking to y'all, sorry. And who God says you are, anytime those voices from the enemy come in, it will direct you directly back to the truth of who God says you are. You've got to believe it. You've got to live it out.
That's exactly right.
That is a brand. A brand knows who they are, and they voice it, and they live it with clarity. All the best brands do. Now, there's brands out there that make your head spin, and you're like, I'll buy you if you'll just get out of my face. But but good brands are crystal clear.
That's good. And the importance of knowing who you are is being crystal clear and who God says you are. That's incredible. That's like put that on a t-shirt. I'll wear that.
I would.
I love this. This is so good. And you kind of touched about this a little bit, that we live in such an Instagram comparison world. Let me ask you this. How do you, because you work for a company as well, you work for several amazing companies doing marketing. How do you not stay in an avenue of comparison on Instagram, marketing-wise in a company? And then how do you stay out of comparison world on Instagram as a person?
Okay. As a company, I think I mentioned this earlier. I love being the first person to do something. So I don't love replicating what is cool. I want to be the trendsetter, not the trend follower. Innovative. Man, come on. Like, innovation is amazing. The reason why Mac is who they are is because they were innovative. Period. But as a company, you've got to know if you can't describe, like I said earlier, if you can't describe what you're doing in 3 simple steps, then take a step back and figure out, why am I doing this? What is it solving? What is my voice? What is our tone? We got to talk about tone.
Yeah.
You know, some companies are really cheeky, like Wendy's right now. Or a while back, their social media influencer would get on and like people would say, "Hey, Wendy's, McDonald's is so and so," and he would like spat that. It was funny. It was like it had a super cool like voice to it. So now your tone, the company I work for, our tone is very just sweet and thankful, and because that's who we are. Yeah, we're thankful. Like we're a small company that's just blown up. It's amazing. Just doubled. Since I've been there, it's been a year. But as a person, God, how do you do that?
I think it goes back to
intentionality.
Yes.
It's intentional.
That's good.
That is the best way I can think about it. If I get on, and I love Instagram, I like it more than any other social platform. Same. I follow people that inspire me. Yeah. I follow people that I value their opinion and I want to keep in touch with them. But I follow so many people that I don't know because I'm like, oh, that is so cool. That macrame, pillow is awesome. Like that would look so good. Now it's okay to admire, but whenever your adoration adoration, when your adoration turns into comparison, that's when you're stepping into danger zone.
Dangerous territory.
And
I agree.
And the second your heart becomes ungrateful, you've given it completely. Yeah. And it's intentionality. I love that. There's people on Instagram that or you follow, and they make you and it may not be intentional with them. It could just be
it's a soft spot.
Because if you're ungrateful, everything else is going down the tube. I mean, it really is. You become very cynical, hateful, whatever, jealous. But if there's people on social media that you compare yourself to, there's people in your life. Step away from them for a season. That's good. And they may not be doing anything. Don't be hateful towards them, but realize your own flaws and your own weaknesses, and don't give the enemy that tool to take you out again.
That's good. I think one thing, simplify, subtract. Yeah. Sometimes you got to unfollow. Yeah. Sometimes you got to unfollow. That's a big one on social media. Like if I see, I'm like, oh man, if I even begin to have the thought process of comparison, I will unfollow. Not because anything on their part, but on my own part. Sometimes just needs a break. I love that you said that.
Where I'm at today is more important to me than having a pretty feed.
Come on.
Before like a year ago, my feed was like 3 times what it is now. Yeah. But who I am today, my knowledge of who God says I am today, is more important than seeing a ton of people that may make me, like I'm going to compare myself to. I love that. I love that. One thing that you said in your notes that I just can't get away from, you said you need to focus on the voice of clarity. Yeah. I love it. In 1 Corinthians 14:33. Yeah. Talk about the scripture a little bit. Yeah. It says God, it talks, basically the entire thing is talking about God is not a God of confusion, but of peace. Yes. There's a list that my husband sent me about a year ago. And he's like, I know you know these things, but I want to tell you these things. And it says, God's voice steals you. Come on. Like he steals you. He gives you peace. Satan's voice rushes you. God's voice leads you. Satan's voice pushes you. I hate being pushed. I know. Like, don't rush me. Get off me, man. Breathe. I promise you, I'm type A. I gave myself ample time to get ready. Don't push me. God's voice. That's real. God's voice reassures you. Satan's voice frightens you. Come on. God's voice enlightens you. Satan's voice confuses you. Come on. God's voice comforts you. Satan's voice worries you. I've got a couple more. That's good. God's voice calms you. Satan's voice obsesses you. Hyper focuses you on the negative. Wow. Come on. That's so good. Preach that. But God's voice convicts you. Satan's voice condemns you. Wow. That's so stinking good. And clarity, if you have confusion, I put it in my notes. It's like, if you're on an island of confusion, perhaps your ticket there was purchased by Satan himself to slow you down, to trip you up, and to trap you from moving forward. Come on, she's preaching now. If you are, it's so there's so much clutter. We have so much clutter in our lives and our homes and all this, everywhere we look today, it's clutter. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I dream of a simpler time, but I really love technology, and I'm not sure what I would have done back then because I'm not a very good cook. But I'm just saying, like I can eat, but cooking. I'll go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
But
you clean up afterwards.
Come on, yes, I do the dishes.
That's real.
But if you're confused, God is not a God of confusion.
No, he's not.
He is clarity, and he is just.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all I've got to talk about that. But
so
clarity comes from Christ. Clarity, Christ.
I love that. I think that's excellent. I want to touch on something that you mentioned earlier about knowing and believing in your value. I think that you mentioned that a little bit, even with branding and marketing for a company, a small business, an entrepreneur, any of those things, but knowing and believing in your value, not just as a company, but as a child of God. Yeah. And there's such clarity and peace in that. And that is what it all sums down to anyway, is knowing and believing your value.
Yes.
I know you had some notes on this, so I just wanted to kind of let you just talk on that point.
In Psalm 31:10, the scripture says that you are more precious than jewels.
Yeah, come on.
There's a reason we are given a jewel when we're asked to spend our lives to someone, because jewels are diamonds, sapphires, whatever. I know everybody has different styles, but jewels are given to put a placeholder for value.
That's so good.
Like jewels are valuable. Otherwise, rings would be cheap, and I would be blinged out.
Come on, somebody.
But you are more precious than jewels. Yes. Scripture talks about how God knows every hair on your head.
Yes.
I mean, I got a water hair.
Yeah.
Like this mess is thick. Okay. And it not only, and I don't like spreadsheets either, as much as I am in marketing. I'm thinking about this. So he has the number of hairs on your head.
Yeah.
You are so valuable that today when you lose hair, he will change the number. I know that's crazy, but I'm just saying, like, he knows, like, you are worth it to him. He knew you when you were in your mother's womb. He had a purpose for you.
Yes.
From day one.
Yes.
From more than day one.
You had value.
Yes. There's and don't get me, I'm not on to the health world, but
it's good.
If you are pregnant with a girl, technically your grandchildren are inside of you.
Come on.
From in utero, those eggs are already in that little girl.
Yes.
And God already knows those grandkids. Like, think about the fact you have a daughter.
Yeah.
You've carried your grandchildren.
Stop it. I can't do that.
Like, I'm just like, that is so cool to me. God blows my mind. And that is the value.
Come on.
You don't spend time knowing. You got to think, you assign value to things, or you study things you assign value to. God knows everything about you. Everything about you. Every wish, every dream, every desire, but he also knows every fear. He knows every struggle. He knows every anxiety. And he knows it all. If he only cared about the good, scripture would be written differently. Right. Say, hey, God knows all your good thoughts, so you can keep your bad thoughts to yourself.
Right.
But he desires, and he just assigns value to you.
Yes. I love that so much. I think this is great. You put some things in your notes.
Go for it.
Yeah, that I want you to kind of hit towards the end. We've got how much time do we have left in this session?
Probably like 15 more minutes before we start doing Q&A.
Q&A. So I want you to really hit this because there's some power here.
Yeah.
And this is honestly when we were talking outside, this is where you really came alive in some things that God's placed on your heart for now. And I don't believe that it's coincidence.
Yeah.
And I think that you really need to hit some of these things pretty hard for people that are watching now live and people that are going to rewatch this later.
Yeah.
This is powerful stuff.
So, for anyone that knows me, knows that I love plants, but I have a black thumb. I just do. They die. I try to keep them alive, but I don't remember to water them. Like, if they could just self-sustain them,
wouldn't that be great?
They'd be in good shape.
Yeah,
you know, like
so I buy fake plants.
Artificial plants and I are really good friends. So one day, my friend Joe from work gave me a plant to put in this really cute macrame plant holder that I have in my office. Yep. And she gave it to me, and I completely forgot. I mean, she gave me this plant specifically, and I felt awful, and I was like, oh, maybe I can water it back to life. And I was watering a dead plant.
Come on.
Y'all, it was crunchy. It was still green, so I thought, well, maybe. But it was like green-brown. I was watering a dead plant, and the Holy Spirit rocked me and said, you've got to stop watering dead plants.
Wow.
And I was like,
golly, that's so good.
What are you talking about? And I just felt him tell me, like, for the last year of your life, you have watered dead plants. You have watered these lies that the enemy has told you. Now, the kind of touched on a little bit earlier, there are hurts in my life from younger, whether I put them there or family matters or whatever. But there were hurts from a very young age, lies from the enemy that I believed. And I use those almost as a shield to be like hard on the outside and be like, ugh, you can't hurt me. You can't hurt me. But I would cry alone.
Yeah.
I would write in my journal and talk about how lonely I was and how no one wanted me. I'm going to lose it. And I was believing those. And so from college, I just became busy. I was like, if I don't hear the voices in my head,
wow, that's good right there.
I can shut them up by doing stuff. And so I had 3 jobs while I was in college. I was on the yearbook. I was a yearbook editor. I was on team worship. I was cheer captain. I was volunteering at our church. I was in a relationship with my wonderful husband. I did everything possible to shut him up. And you know what? I was really successful for 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah.
Really successful. I mean, I thrived on being busy. I thrived on
doing.
Just doing.
Yeah.
Being a human doer.
Yeah.
And I was good at it. I was really good at it. It's hard to stop something that you are good at.
Yeah.
But what a shame to go to the end of your life and realize that you've done something that God didn't call you to do. You might have been good at it, but he didn't call you to be that person. Anyway, so I was watering these lies. I was watering the fact that I wasn't good enough, that my parents didn't want me, that I wasn't where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I was believing all of these lies. Sorry.
This is good.
And I just kept watering them for those 7 years. Yeah. And, you know, in the fall, trees' roots grow deeper. Yeah. You can't see it flourish on the outside, but their roots are growing deeper.
So good.
And in those 7 years, it was pretty much fall in my heart because I had it. I didn't need to give those to God. I didn't need to give him my hurt. I didn't need to give him my confusion. I didn't need to give him those lies that I'd like fed and watered all those years because I had it. I got it under control. Wow. But those roots were going deeper and deeper and deeper until those roots became a part of my identity.
Wow.
And this past year, God moved us to Longview a little over a year ago. Right. Sometimes you just say, huh? Yes, sir, but huh?
That was
and moved us to Longview. The first time in my life, I wasn't busy. I was busy with work. Right. And e-commerce is a whole new world for me. So I was busy with that and busy with motherhood. But I wasn't volunteering in church. I wasn't in my word as much as I should have been. Let me be honest. I wasn't in my word at all, other than in church. And like every once in a while I'd be like, all right, I'm going to tackle this. I'm going to outserve these problems. I'm going to push them away again by reading, by doing this. And I wasn't going to face them head on. I just refused.
That's good.
Until I just got exhausted.
Yeah.
Like exhausted from fighting, exhausted from feeling sorry for myself, man. Like self-wallow is a party of one and it sucks. Yeah. It sucks. Like nobody, what do they say? Misery loves company. Well, company don't like misery.
Yeah.
People don't want to be around
That's
you.
Good,
if
Kayla.
You're
That's
cynical, if you're hateful, like every fruit of the spirit, and bless my family, there's people that I feel like now I need to write a letter to and just be like, I'm sorry for who I was, allow me to reintroduce myself,
Yeah.
That's
good.
I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm done. I am done. I would call Michelle and just be like, I am so unhappy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell her why.
No, you looked unhappy.
I couldn't tell her why because my job was great. The company I work for is great. It's hard, man. Like just work, just learning something new is hard, and motherhood is hard, and being a wife is hard, and being new is hard. And I am such a relational person. For the first year, we really didn't have a ton of friends. We had some, but didn't get to see them because life is just busy. Yeah. And I didn't want to talk to anybody. I don't like showing weakness. Like that is just not. Like I am strong, dang it. I will go to the ground strong. but there is that is a lie. That's a lie from the enemy. You don't have to be strong. Like, be real. God wants you to surround yourself with people who you can be your authentic self with.
Yes.
And if you don't have those people, I encourage you, find them.
Yes.
They're out there. There's somebody out there that needs you just as much as you need them.
Yes. That was such a big thing. That's the collective, like my collective, our people.
Yeah.
I knew something was going on with you, and I couldn't put my finger on it because you weren't. I mean, we were talking, but I knew something was going deeper. It was those roots.
Yeah.
And I prayed harder for you.
Yeah.
In the last year than I ever have before. I've always prayed for you, but I prayed harder for you. You need people in your life who are going to pray for you.
Yeah.
Who are going to be beside you and say, something's up. I can't tell what it is. Maybe you can't tell what it is, but something's up, and I'm praying. I'm in your corner. I've got you.
Yeah.
Even from afar.
Yeah.
Like, man, it sucks, like, being so far, but I've got you. I'm praying for you. And I knew something was going on, and watching you in the process of this, just like, revelation has been amazing.
It's insane. Like the last year, our prayer before, my husband and I prayer before God moved us to Longview was, Lord, we're real comfortable in Kansas City. And like, if you want to keep us here, that's great. Because this is awesome. Yeah. We had great jobs, wonderful church, y'all. If you're in Kansas City area, City Center Church is where it's at.
Yes, City Center.
The best people I know go there. I just I just didn't understand. And we were like, God, if you want to keep us here, that is awesome. Because who doesn't want to just be like, just right off into the sunset?
Right.
How
about that?
And we were like, but God, I don't think you've called us to be comfortable. Now be ready when you pray that prayer for him to make you uncomfortable.
It's a scary prayer to pray.
It's kind of like praying for patience.
Yeah, because he gives you the opportunity
to be patient.
Yeah.
Look at those leaves falling.
I know. It really is falling.
Sorry. And it wasn't any time later that we were pregnant.
Yeah.
God told us early on in our pregnancy that we were moving to Texas. He didn't tell us Longview specifically, but he told us Texas.
Right.
And then he just orchestrated everything. We knew. And here's the crazy thing, is that even through that insane sadness, and if I've ever been depressed in a place of depression, and depression is real, and I'm not like putting a light subject on it, because it is real, y'all. It is real.
It is real.
And people struggle with it. And the only way I made it out was because I had a word from God.
Come on.
And I constantly went back to that truth. That is what you've got to do.
Simplify.
Yes, you've got to know who you are in Christ and say, you know what, Satan? Yeah. You have attacked me long enough.
Yes.
I'm winning this battle. You are not winning this battle. And I refuse to live another year.
Yes.
Feeling sorry for myself. I refuse to live that way. And
that's so good.
And once I did that, I started going to counseling. Something I should have done years ago. I went through some counseling during college, but something I should have continued up from years ago. Good. And I want to encourage you that if you are at a place where you just needed some godly wisdom to work it out, go see somebody. Yeah. Go see somebody. Sure. And you know what? At first I'd be like, it's so expensive. It costs so much money. And I am not rich by any means. But you will pay for what you believe is valuable. And baby girl, your soul.
You're worth it. Yeah.
Yes, you're worth it. Yes, I could have said it better. It's worth it. I just went off on a tangent.
I know.
But it's true.
I think it's so good. I want to ask you one more question, and then I want people to be able to, if they have any questions, like how can they get a hold of you and stuff. I want to hit that first, but one really quick question, then we're going to get to some. Do we have any questions in the chat?
I can tell you.
Okay.
Let me open this up. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll listen.
Awesome. Okay. Got it. So you got that. I'm going to ask you one more question if you can kind of think while you do that, because you're such an crazy multitasker. If you could go back to college, Kayla, because really all of this kind of hits you around college, marketing, branding, busy yourself. Like this is what the pivotal spot is, what I keep hearing and what we've talked about before. This is the pivotal spot that you were like, maybe I don't want to be country singer. Maybe I want to be a missionary. So what would you go back and say to college Kayla? If you could right now, what would you go back and say to her?
I think I said this to you earlier.
Yeah.
I just tell her to slow down. Like, just slow down. Like, stop trying to prove yourself.
Come on.
God doesn't need you to prove yourself.
Come on. That's good.
He knows your value.
He knows.
He assigned it.
Yes.
He assigned your value.
Come on.
He knows your flaws. He knows your weaknesses. Being weak is okay. Actually, you tell me this after my husband and I went through 2 miscarriages, and after our second one, you told me you're at the paint conference at Gateway, and you said something like, what is it? Oh my gosh, it's escaping me right now, but it's along the lines of strength is admirable, but weakness is relatable.
Yes.
And my whole life have just been like, I'm gonna be strong. Like, if there's anything that I am, it is strong, you know? So and that's who I was gonna be. And I just,
so people can relate to your weakness.
Yeah, people can relate to your weakness, but I would tell myself, trust God's process.
Yeah.
Trust where He is sending you. You don't have to have it all figured out.
Come on.
Because I am type A and creative. I'm like, okay, well, if I don't have a plan, I can create one.
Yes. That is actually who you are. Yeah.
And you are,
keep going.
And God loves you. I just needed to know that He loved me.
Yes.
And I didn't have to prove myself. My value wasn't assigned based on how many check boxes I checked off. You know?
That's good. That's real.
And that my family
by your actions.
Yes. That my family loves me and they want the most for me. One of Satan's biggest attacks on me was telling me that my family didn't want me.
Come on.
So living in Kansas City, I was like, sweet. Peace. Wow. I don't have to be around them. I'm just being honest. But God has like completely, He's like, you're kidding? Your family loves you.
Come on.
Like, now I don't know a single family that has it all together, and ours is one of the most hysterical ones that I know about. But God,
so good.
I would hug her. I'd tell her to trust, to breathe, to relax, and to invest in my soul.
Wow. Invest into you. Because you're worth
invest into my brand. Like, know who I am and walk it out and post it everywhere.
All over the place. There's one good question. Okay, where we got? From Rebecca. She says, if you have a blog, YouTube channel, and not many resources, how would you take it to the next level as far as branding or exposing it more?
Oh, so for
love that.
If you've done, who's this, Rebecca? Rebecca, if you've ever done anything on social ads, I would tell you the very first place to go is to put $20, $100 behind an ad on social media and target people specifically. So if your brand or your blog is for fashion, I'm going to talk about, I think Charity, she's with us.
Yeah, she's
so Charity is incredible. Y'all get to hear from her later. Incredible. She's gorgeous inside and out. She's the most confident person I've ever met. And God just goes through her. But so her brand is for women. To be a confident you. And so, for instance, for her, she would put up a blog. Videos go a long way over stills. I'll tell you that. Now, beautiful imagery goes a long way, but videos go a long way. And you can pinpoint who your audience is. That's so good. For $100, you can say, join here, be very crystal clear. Click here to join my blog or to watch along or whatever you want to do.
Right.
And then pinpoint women who are shopping.
Your demographic.
Yeah, your demographic. Go after that.
That's really good.
You jump in.
Yeah.
Jump in, Meg.
Okay,
this is Meg. You all know Meg.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I just wanted to add to this Facebook ads thing.
Yeah.
Because for Urban Southern, Facebook ads changed everything.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, when you have a really low budget, like you need to get results with $2 a day or $5 a day, right? You don't have that $100 budget.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it takes like 3 months to really see some good traction.
Okay.
But you don't want to just do general targeting.
Yeah.
You want to set your page up on Facebook Business, the Facebook Business dashboard, and you want to start with your warm audience, and then you want to have a lookalike audience, which you can create of people that look just like the people that already follow you, because you're always going to get those results.
That's
with your warm audience.
Yeah.
That's great, Meg. I love that.
So good.
Okay, so really quickly, Is we have more? Okay, really quickly, I want people to be able to know.
This last year of my life has held so much of what you were talking about.
Wow, come on. That's Kirsten. Yes, awesome. I'm so glad. Then, hey, you got the right chat room or the right session today. I'm so excited that you're here. If you guys want to follow Kayla, I highly suggest that you follow Kayla if you are into marketing, branding, a mother, a wife. I mean, come on, she's all the things, right? All the things. Follow her. She's under Kayla Taylor Hall on Instagram, Facebook. Really, those two are main ones.
That's it.
Facebook and Instagram. And she will also be writing some blogs on our digital publishing coming at the beginning of the year. So she'll be talking about some marketing things, some branding things, and some other fun things too. So go follow her. But if you have any questions about marketing for your business, if you have any questions about branding, whether it's for your company, your small business, your photography, if you have anything, anything, please message her. She is open to help you out and can give you consultation. So follow her, and you can message her on Facebook and Instagram.
My email is Kayla, Kayla .hall, HALL 626. That's June 26th. That's when we got married at Gmail. So Kayla.hall 626 at Gmail. Shoot me an email. Let me know that you met me through the collective, and I'll be happy to, we'll figure out some time we can Zoom just like this.
Love it. This is amazing. Hey, I'm so glad that you guys came in. Thanks for doing this.
Yes, really thank you.
Not just behind the scenes anymore, anybody.
Yes,
We snuck her in here.